So thank you so much for joining us. As mentioned, Tim Pollak is partner and head of strategy for Factor LLC. I actually had the opportunity to write a story about Factory in April, which was great, and I got to talk with managing director Rich Thompson. But for people who may not know, explain a bit about what Factory is.
Our idea was that there are so many of these young food and beverage companies, really great ideas, wonderful entrepreneurs, who are going to hit a wall at some point because it's really hard to scale up. A few get lucky fast, most struggle, and if we can help make it a little bit easier. So we take a stake in the company. We bring all our resources. We bring all of our resources to play for the company. Those resources that we do backroom, we do finance, we help with marketing, we help with distribution, we have quality control, we have product development, we have internal consumer insights, so we have a focus group facility, we have a sensory testing lab, we have a relationship with a data company, we have a food scientist with a full developmental kitchen, we have a beverage and flavor development laboratory on site. Bring all those resources together. We go out to co-packers. We check lines, runs coming off the line. We do quality assessments. So we do all of these things that entrepreneurs need that are really hard to handle. And we have we have a package development studio. We've got a graphic design studio. It's constantly going. So we're doing prototypes, and we partner. We don't run the company. We work with the companies, but we really give them, as Mikey, who was our first investment, said, we give a $2 million company the resources of a $200 million company.
Yeah, I love that. It's super interesting. And so Mikey's, like you mentioned, was the first brand that you guys partnered with. Tell us a bit about what you learned from Mikey's.
Well, I think that, first of all, a phenomenal entrepreneur, and that really, really helps. So that's probably the first thing that we look at. The second is a differentiated product. So Mikey, when we first met him, told us a story of wanting to do gluten-free, recognizing that gluten-free was not necessarily better for you, that many people were turning to gluten-free for that. And he said, I want to make a densely nutritious, better for you, grain-free, dairy-free, soy-free product with minimal, with very few ingredients, all pronounceable ingredients, no preservatives. He said, basically set that standard. Now, the problem with that is taste. But Mikey's a really, really good chef. Studied at the CIA, cut his teeth in the French Laundry, then worked at 11 Madison Park. He really understands flavors, understands food. So combining those two, we thought very exciting, differentiated proposition. Differentiation is key because we need that for the market. We were able to define his market. We helped him with strategy, things that were alien to him in many ways that we're familiar with from our own experience. And it's been a phenomenal give and take with him running the company and us sort of having our arm around his shoulder, but with him in the trenches every day.
That's really awesome. You're along for the journey. And then what's super interesting is you also help Mikey launch a new brand, which is Stuffed Puffs. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I mean, when we first met Mike, we went up and visited his co-packer, and I remember driving away from it, and he's saying to Rich and I have this other project I've been working on for a number of years, 6 years in fact. I figured out how to put chocolate inside a marshmallow, but at the end, and he said, and it's really, really hard, and it takes a lot of equipment, and now that I've spent the money to figure it out, I don't have the money to make it happen. So we went to a retailer, Walmart, and said, we have the ideas here. They said, we want it. And with that in hand, we don't usually do startups, but with that in hand, we invested in building a factory in order to make the product, because no one had ever made it before. And the response, we launched about 4 weeks ago, the response, as both from Walmart and consumers, has just been remarkable, because the idea is so simple. You roast the marshmallow, the chocolate melts inside, you put it in a graham cracker, and you got the best s'more you've ever eaten.
Sounds like a pretty good situation, have to say. So tell us, what is Factory looking for in these brand partners that it takes on?
Again, we're looking for the entrepreneur with a great tasting product, a differentiated product. People that have got the drive and the ability to collaborate to try to get big more quickly, have more fun doing it. We want entrepreneurs to form their own community within the factory, to share their ideas back and forth. It is something that's never been done before because no one has built the facility, and we were just very, very fortunate to find a deep-pocketed resource partner to come in and say, we like this idea. We'll fund the building of the facility and the staffing of the facility. Having that in hand, we're just looking for the right companies that want to, and they do. We want them to move in. We want the company to, just like you go to college for a couple of years to make your fame and fortune, come up, live with us. Great community that we live in. We're an hour and a half from New York. We're an hour from Philadelphia. Come up and live with us, and we'll make this happen.
So cool. Tell brands how they can get in touch with you if they are interested in learning more.
Fine. I mean, go Factory LLC. I'm Tim. Tim at Factory LLC, factory-llc.com. And not only can we get in touch there, but you can also get a tour on the website of the facility. There's a virtual tour throughout. It's really interesting to look at it. It's a lot better to come see it, so come up and see us.
Definitely. Well, Tim, thank you so much for being here. So cool to see you.
Thank you.